tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you about 17 different Kotlin advanced idioms. So I'm going to give examples along with the explanation. Okay, so let's jump right on to the code. Okay, so the first idioms, the advanced idioms, is using a list to create a read-only list. So how can we do that? It's pretty simple. Now we create a read only list. Create the list of apple, banana, orange. Then we print out the read only list. So let's run that. Yeah, this is the read only list as we have entered the values here. Okay, for the list. So this is the list, read only list. Okay, so now let's create a read only map. Okay, so we have a map of we map value to another a key to a value. So this is the key and this is the value. So we also have another key to a value and another key to a value. So so let's print out the read only map. You have a key and value pair, right, as you can see here. So this is a this is how we create a read only map. Okay, using map of. This is the syntax. So now let's create another let's use destructing declaration to access map entries. Okay, so how do we access map entries? So we created this read only map. So now how can we access them? Okay, so we have this, like, how do we access them in using destructing declaration? So we have a key and a value, then a read only map entries first. So just want to access the first value. Okay, then and the value and read only map. Then this is like we just specify the key. Okay, so let's run and check it. Okay, you see this is the first one. We just read the first key and value, we printed them out, and then we are using this directly the specific key to access the read only map. Okay, so this is how we can access the map entry. So now how can we traverse a map or a list of pairs? So we have a list of map. So what we can do is we want to traverse a map. So we use a read only this read only map, and then we do a for each loop with the key and value pair. Okay, then what we can do is can print out the key and a value pair. Okay, so this is the traversing of a map. So we use the for each loop. So you see it's traversing, it's printing the key and value pair for this read only map. So this is how we can use we can traverse a map. So let's iterate over a range. How can we iterate over a range? These are most frequently used idioms in Kotlin. Okay, so it's pretty essential. I'm just giving you a couple of examples how we can do it in a code. So yeah, this is a pretty much easy way to iterate over a range. So this is a range of number from 1 to 10, and we are just iterating using a for loop. Okay, as you can see here is iterating from 1 to 10. So now let's understand about the lazy property. Okay, so we have a lazy value of type string, then we just declare this by lazy, then we initialize them by lazy. So this value is initialized by lazily. Okay, so let's print ln and lazy value. So this value will be initialized lazily. So you see, we use this lazy keyword to initialize a property, so it's initialized only when it is first accessed. Okay, so this is the interesting concept here. So now let's understand about the extension function. So let's create the extension function. So to create an extension function, so we are going to create the extension function of a string. So is palindrome, then it's returning a boolean. So if this equals to reversed, then this is a palindrome. Okay, so we have a variable, test variable, it's called madam. So print ln, so we're gonna test if this is a palindrome. Okay, so we're gonna check it. Yeah, this is palindrome, but if we do sir, it's false, it's not a palindrome because it's not reversed. The reversed and the same is not equals, right? So this is a palindrome. As you can see here, it's returning true. Okay, so this is how we can create extension functions. So let's create a singleton for so how to so use an object. So we're going to use the object declaration to create a singleton pattern. So let's cancel this one. So we're going to use object declaration to create a singleton object. So we're gonna do something. So we're gonna print ln doing something, and we're gonna define we're gonna create an object, a singleton object, single singleton, then gonna do something. Okay, so let's run this single object, sorry, you see doing something. So this is how we can use this object declaration to create a singleton object. Okay, and this is the way how we can create the instance of the singleton object. Okay, so now let's move further. Let's learn how to use value classes for type safe values. So how can we use the value classes for type safe values? Okay, please note that we are using Kotlin 2.0.21. okay, this is the new latest version. Let's learn how to use value classes for type safe values. So we're gonna wrap the primitive types for type safety. So okay, so let's create a value classes, value class user id. We create a value class of named user id with the value type int, or you can say a result of type int. So we have a user id, so we can create the instance of a user id, then we print out the user id using the string template here, user id dot result. So this is the value classes. So you see, value classes without JVM annotation are not yet supported, so we have to annotate them with the JVM inline. Okay, so user ID, as you can see here, this is how we can use value classes for type safe values, and we have to obviously, as you can see here, we have to annotate them with the JVM inline. So this annotation actually is required for value classes to ensure that the class is represented as the underlying primitive type at runtime on the JVM. Okay, so this value keyword indicates that the class is a value class. Okay, so this is pretty much important. And so what we are doing is we are creating the value class called user ID with a single property of a value. It's called variable name result with type int, right? So this is what's happening here. So now let's instantiate an abstract class. How can we do that? So let's create the abstract class. Class called animal. We have an abstract function called make sound. Okay, so we can declare a animal named dog. We're gonna create the object of abstract class. And then we're gonna override the make sound abstract class. Print ln of. So and now what we're gonna do, we created the instance of the abstract class. Then we gonna create the sound. Okay, so let's see. Woof woof, as you can see here. So what's happening here, we define an abstract class named animal here, okay, with an abstract function called make sound, and then we create the object. So we create an anonymous object that inherits from the abstract class. So we create the anonymous object that inherits the abstract class from animal. Okay, so then we override the make sound, as you can see here. And this provides a concrete implementation for the make sound function within the anonymous object. So this is the anonymous object. Okay, so and then what we do with this anonymous object, with the object this object dog, we can make the sound. Okay, we call the make sound function of the dog instance, which executes the implementation provided in the anonymous object. So this is what is happening. So this is all about the abstract class. So now let's move further and let's learn about how to swap the two variables. Okay, to swap two variables, we have to create the two variables, mutable variables. A is assigned to 1 and B is assigned to 2. Okay, and then so before swapping, what happens? So we just print out A and print out B, then we swap. So after swap, so we swap B equals to A. So now we swap A to B, and then we print out after swapping what's the new variable name. Let's run this. You see 1 2 2 1. Okay, so let's let me make it more 100 and 200. Okay, sorry, 200. Let's run this. You see, at before it was 100 and 200, is 200 and 100. Okay, so it's swapped. So we use this also. Okay, so now b also b equals to a. Okay, so this is helping to swap. So now let's move further. Let's learn about the generic function that let's learn how to create the generic function of that requires the generic type information. So I'm going to give you the example of a generic function. So let's create a inline function reified t list that contains type, returns boolean, return this any t is t. Okay, of type generic type t. So this is the generic function that requires the generic type information. So this is the it's requiring the generic type. Okay, so what we let's use this. Okay, so we have a mixed list, which is a list of all the types. Like hello is a type string, then we have a number, then we have a boolean, then we have a double here. Okay, so now let's print ln the mixed list contains type string and mixed list contains type int. So what we can do is pretty much copy and paste. So we have a string, we have a int, we have a boolean, we have a double. Let's check if we have also a character. So let's run this. It's gonna give you true, 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 false, right? Because we don't have a character. Okay, so this is how we create the inline like a generic function that requires the generic type. Okay, so this actually, as you can see here, this block of code this defines an inline extension function named contains type. Okay, so and of in the list type. Okay, so as you can see, this is already a list type. Okay, and it uses a reified type parameter of type t, generic type t. Okay, so inside the function it uses the any function. Okay, so this any function to check if any elements on the list is of type t. So okay, so it just checks the type t. Okay, so this is the key. The is keyword, as you can see here, can be used with the reified type to perform type check at runtime. So this is keyword is used to do the type checks. So this inline calls the content type function on the list named mixed list. As you can see here, this is the mixed list in the main function, as you can see here, specifying the string as the type argument. Due to reified, the function knows that the type t is a string at runtime and can perform the type check accurately. So this is how it can perform the type check accurately. Okay, so what is a reified? The reified modifier. So this reified modifier allows the functions to access the actual type of the generic type parameter t at runtime. So without refi, the type information is erased at compile time, and you would not be able to use the generic type t for type checking. Okay, so and what is this inline? The inline modifier is required when using reified type parameters. It tells the compiler to replace the function call with the function's body at the call site, so enabling the runtime access to the type information. Okay, so now let's move further. Let's learn about Java 7 try with the resources. So uh, okay, so now let's create this, let's remove this code. So we can define a file name of like my file.txt. So then let's define, okay, let's first let's define a function called read file content. Okay, so we have a file name as a parameter, which is of type string, which returns a string, and we have a val reader, buffer reader, file reader, file name. So I'm going to give you the simple example. Okay, so return reader dot use the buffered reader. Then we have a string builder, apply a line of type string, which is a nullable type, while the buffered reader read line also line equals to it is not equals to null, then append line just to, no, actually this is to string. So what we do is pretty much with content, we read file content, file name, and then we just print ln the content. Okay, so this is how we can use try with the resources. Okay, so this buffered reader, what's happening actually in the code is, you see the buffered reader creates a buffer reader to read the file. So reader dot use calls the use function on the reader object. So the use function takes a lambda expression as an argument, which is executed with a try with the resources. So this use actually is executed with try with resources block. Okay, so this is try with the resources block is used within which is executed within the try with resources block. Okay, so inside the lambda, as you can see here, we're using apply string builder or apply lambda. So this is used to accumulate the line read from the file. Okay, and this is how we can, this is a simple example of try with the resources. So as you can see here, the read line, buffered reader read line, okay, so reads each line from the file using read lines and assign it to the line using also this also, and the loop continues until the read line returns null. Okay, so this indicates the end of the file. Okay, so appends So this append line appends the current line to the string builder, and finally we have we return the result to the to string. Okay, and this is a simple example. So let's move further. Let's learn how to configure properties on an object. Okay, so how can we configure properties of an object? So how can we use the apply function? Okay, so let's cancel this one. Let's learn how to use apply function in Kotlin. So for that, let's define our data class called person. So we have a variable name type string, is type int. So we have a default values, and then let's create the instance of the person, and here we use this apply function. Okay, then assign the name to Harry, and sorry, is will be 30. Let's print out the person. Okay, so this is a person. We use the apply function to this person instance, and we then assign the respective values. So let's print it out. Okay, I'm getting some network errors. Okay, so it's getting some network errors. Okay, so we can move further. Okay, so I'm gonna run this in a while, but first we can we learn how to also call multiple objects. So what it's gonna print out, it's gonna print out the person, the name of the person, that will be Harry. Okay, so it's pretty simple. It's nothing, it's not a big deal. Okay, so let's move further. So let's learn how to use the call multiple methods on an object instance. So to create a multiple objects on multiple methods on object instance, we can create this person. Okay, then we use this function greet. Then okay, let's print out hello his name. Okay, and we have a function celebrate birthday. We celebrate the birthday is then print ln happy is this is okay, so happy birthday now. Old. So we have used this apply function, then we use this another method, which is with person. We use this with method with person, to first we greet, then we use celebrate birthday, then we can greet again. So what this with function is doing is this takes object and a lambda expression as arguments. So inside the lambda it refers to the object passed to with. So this is the object passed to with. So this is the person object, okay, as you can see here, and this allows you to call multiple methods on object without repeating the object name. So with this object you can call multiple methods, okay. So this is how it's happening, and it's what is gonna print out. Obviously it's gonna print out this hello, my name is Harry and I'm 30 years old. It's gonna celebrate the birthday, that's the age is gonna be incremented, so it will be 31, and it's gonna say happy birthday, I'm 31 years old. And finally it's gonna greet again, so it's gonna say hello, my name is Harry and my age is spirit. I'm just getting the network error. But if you run this code, you're gonna print out this these values, okay. So this okay, so let's move further with the single expression function. So how can you create the single expression function? Let's cancel this code. It's pretty simple. We can create the single expression function using function square x of type int x into x. So it's a square, okay. So how to use that? It's just simple. Just use result square of anything like 12. Square of 12 is 12 into 12, 144, right? So this is a single expression function. It's pretty simple. So the return value, this return value is returned directly to the function. Okay, so finally let me teach you about this builder style uses of methods that return the unit, okay. So let's create a function called array of minus of size and int array, which returns the int array of size, then it applies to fill -1 into size. So it's a array of minus, right? So -1 into size. So using this is pretty simple. You just need to define the array of minus and just pass what is the array minus, then print ln the size, then array content to string. So what's is gonna print out? It's gonna print out the -5 -5 so it's gonna print out -5 5 times, okay. So this is how we can use the builder style uses of method that returns like a, it's like a builder style uses of methods, okay, that returns unit. So That's it, guys. So happy coding, guys, and catch you up later in the next tutorial. Thank you.